Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video, I wanted to do an updated favorite blush video. I have a couple here that were in my original favorite blush video, but I guess that just means that it solidifies and updates you that I still love it. But there's also a bunch of new additions in here as well, so I'm really excited to share them all with you. Before I get into them, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. So I'd first like to start off with my powder favorites since there's not that many of them, but I want to kick it off with the Heaven's Glow blushes from M Cosmetics. These are the only two that they have so far. This is the shade Magic Hour, and it has a peachy pink base to it with a pink shift, which is very beautiful. And they also have this shade right here, Faded Clementine, which is my favorite out of the two. This one is very unique. This one has a burnt orange undertone, but it's an orange that leans more yellow rather than red. And it also has a golden shift. I adore these so very much because when you add them onto your cheeks, it almost mimics the effect of a cream, but with the benefits of a powder. I find that these have a really long wearing time, which is fantastic. And I find these to be very, very unique. I really hope that they launch more shades in these because these are my ultimate favorite powder blush formulation. I love the reflect in these because they are so extremely fine. There's no visible glitter particles at all. It just really mimics the natural sheen of skin, which I just adore. So I had to mention these first. They're my absolute favorites. Moving right along, my second favorite powder formulation are the CoverFX Monochromatic Blush Duos. These are my two favorite shades right here. My number one favorite is Warm Honey, and my second is Soft Peach. I love Warm Honey because it is one of those suntanny shades that I just adore and can't get enough of. I never shut up about that on my channel if you're new here. I think this is the best CoverFX product that they've ever launched. I love these so very much because you can get a couple of blush looks with them. You can use the matte side alone or the shimmer side alone, or you can mix them. That kind of resembles a blush look like the Heaven's Glow from M Cosmetics. I think this is very versatile, and I love how many different blush looks you can achieve with this. The formulations are so beautiful. A little dip of the brush in here can go such a long way, and I find that to be very admirable. I've had these two shades for over a year and I use them constantly, it feels like, and they both look practically brand new. Plus, it's super aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and I love the sleek packaging because it fits into a makeup bag so easily. I think these are fantastic and I would highly, highly recommend them. Next, moving along, this is a newer blush favorite. This is the Wet n Wild blush in the shade Mellow Wine. I love this one. It definitely has those sun-kissed hues to it, but it has this other hue in here that is very unique to my personal collection. I either have bronzy blushes or peachy blushes, but this one is a little bit more unique. It has kind of a red undertone to it that I find to be so beautiful. It reminds me of when you're outside in the cold a little bit and your cheeks turn that really cute flesh pink. I think that's why I love this one so very much. It's so cute. This formulation feels very similar to the original MAC blushes. Honestly, if my eyes were closed, I wouldn't be able to see any differences. This one's so reliable and it performs like a high-end blush. And I should really check out the other shades that they offer because this one is fantastic. I would love to collect a few more. This last one I'm going to talk about kind of bridges the gap between my cream and powder favorites. These are the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder blushes. These are the two shades that I have so far, and I love them both very much. The shades Do We Know Her and She's So LA. She's So LA is my number one favorite out of the two. I find these to be very unique to the market, and blushes I feel like are kind of hard to find something super unique about them, but this really stands out to me in my collection. I absolutely love how many looks you can get from this. You can either use the powder alone or the cream alone, or you can use the cream first and set it with the powder, or you can use the powder first then set it with the cream, depending on your preferences. I feel like this suits anybody's preferences on the market. It's like an all-encompassing blush. I think if you're a working makeup artist, these would be amazing to have in a kit because it would work for all skin types as well. These blushes just ignite something within me that just excites me so much about makeup. He did a fantastic job at creating these blushes because I've never had one negative experience with them. Everything throughout this is so well thought out, through the packaging, through the formulations. I just love it all. That's it. Love, love, love. Now let's move into my cream and liquid blush favorites. I'm first going to start off with the Tower 28 blushes. These are my two shades that I have and the ones that I love the most. They do have another pinkier shade, but I just prefer these tones for myself. I have the shade Magic Hour, which is more of a peachy pink, and Beach Please, which is a burnt orange that has a little bit more of a red leaning undertone rather than the Faded Clementine from M Cosmetics. This is the most well-lasting cream blush on my skin personally. I find that they are very impactful, but they also look very natural at the same time, which I love. The finish of them is quite dewy, I would say. I remember how shocked I was at the longevity when I first used it. I couldn't believe it lasted on my oily skin for an entire day, and I really love the price point, especially for a brand at Sephora. Tower 28 has very quickly become one of my all-time favorite brands, so I highly recommend these. They are fantastic. So good. Moving along, this is a more recent discovery. I believe you can only get these in Canada as of now, but this is the Quo Beauty Featherweight Cream Blush in the shade Pure 59. I still haven't picked up any more, but this is the blush I have on right now. It's very comparable to the Glossier formulation, as you could probably guess, because it's pretty much an exact dupe. This one just feels a little bit more dewy, and I do prefer this color over the ones from Glossier because this one is a true sun-kissed look. But I adore this so very much. I think it has a really nice long-lasting effect on the cheeks as well. It's super easy to work with either a finger or a brush or anything. This is just fantastic, and I find that this one works really well with a sponge too. I found with the Glossier formulation, the sponge really picked it all up and even removed it off of the cheek. I think this one has a little bit more of a thicker consistency. I don't know, I've been all about this blush recently, so I had to mention it. Moving along, this is another drugstore favorite. This is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Blush Elixir in the shade Apricot. I find that it's the most similar to the Tower 28 ones, just a liquefied version. I originally picked this up to see if it was a dupe for the M Cosmetics Serum blushes, but I find this formulation to be a lot more impactful and pigmented compared to the M Cosmetics ones. This one I would recommend blending it with a finger. I find with a brush or a sponge it can get a little bit patchy, so I think with the warmth of your finger it really helps to blend this out seamlessly. Moving on, these are the Rare Beauty blushes. I have two favorites here. One's the matte formulation and one's the dewy one. I actually really enjoy these on their own or either mixed. It gives like a really nice satin finish, and it also makes it more fun. I love mixing products together to make a custom color. This is the shade Bliss, and this one is the shade Joy. These are the most pigmented blushes I have ever come across. I definitely messed up in my original Rare Beauty video. In my first impressions, I put way too much of this color on and it was just a disaster. But that tells me that this will work on so many different skin tones, and they have so many fun colors as well. I find them to be very K-beauty inspired. They all have that bright blossomy vibe to them. I would love to see some more sun-kissed colors come out eventually too, please. Selena, just for me, please. But yeah, love these so very much. I find that they last such a long time. I find the best way to apply these ones as well is with a finger. I've pretty much just only been using a finger to blend these in. I think I used a brush once, and I think it was one of the days where I was feeling a little bit more impatient and it just didn't go well. It didn't go down good at all. So a finger is where it's at. Okay, I love these so much. She really killed it with her brand. I'm so extremely excited to see what she comes out with in her next launch. I'm impatient. This is a more high-end blush that I love. This is the Weiss Desired Glow Cream Blush. I adore this color so much. This one is such a good everyday color. It matches pretty much every look. This is actually the only Weiss product I've ever tried. I would love to explore her brand a little bit more, but this formulation is so very beautiful. It has a very thin consistency, which is nice. It feels so lightweight on the cheeks, but it also gives such a glowy look without making it look greasy at all. It just is dewy goodness. Dewy goodness. Love it so much. And I also really enjoy her brand because it's very eco-friendly. You can buy this metal thing once, and you can buy replacement pans in here if you want. She also offers like a cardboard that is more cost efficient if you don't want to spend money on the metal packaging, which I think is really interesting as well. Really cool business aspect. But yeah, I adore this blush so much, and I'm surprised that I haven't explored her brand a little bit more. I think it's because it's a little less accessible here in Canada. It's also quite expensive, but I love this color. I'm close to hitting pan on this one. And my last liquid favorite got to be these ones. These are the Cosmetics Serum blushes. Oh, these are just so good and so cute and so unique. I love them so much. And they recently came out with a few other colors. These are all of my favorites. I'll quickly name them. Cherry Splash, which is a very vibrant red. I love this color. It's very unique to my collection. This is the shade Venetian Rose, which is my #1 favorite out of all of them. It has a really nice bronzy color to it that I can't get enough. This one's part of the original lineup. This is the shade Sunset Sky. It has more of an orangey hue to it. This is the shade Rose Milk, which is a very toned down pink toned peach. And the last one is Peachy Peachy, which is an orange toned peach. So those are all of my favorites. I love these so much because it gives you the most dewy looking cheeks, and I just love the texture of these. It's so fun to apply. These just make me so excited. The whole experience is fantastic for me. I love the little bottles. I think it looks so bougie and so cute on your desk. I will say that these aren't the most long lasting on the cheeks. When I do wear these, I usually put one in my purse so I can kind of touch it up during the day. I feel like these last at least 5 hours, then I would touch them up. But to me, that's worth it for this effect. I love how glowy it makes my cheeks look. Like, look at them. They're so cute. But there we go, my updated favorite blush video. I really hope you found it helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please give this video a like. It would help me out so very much. I'll make sure to link all of these in the description down below as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.